Hello and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion. This is the Formula 3 Championship Season 4 and today we are at Hungaroring. I'm Dom, been promoted from third wheel to first wheel. Joining me today in commentary is Jools. Jools, how are you doing?
Oh, great, thanks. Look at that city name there. What's that about?
What did that say? I missed it.
I'm going to check it in the next race at the sprint, but it was weird.
Some potential editing problems there, is there?
SDK overlay problems, I think.
SDK, our favourite. So here's the championship standings heading into this race. Gavin Kelly leading by just shy of 30 points from Ollie Walker. James Garlick in third, Miller in fourth. Richard Santana, not seen him recently racing. He's in fifth there. David Lyon in sixth, with Namath in seventh. Hoogervin, Costa Johnson, then White, Forrester, Winslade. Graham Bardsley's 14th. Weaver 15th, and you can see all the points down there. Got Manuel Cruz, first race in the F3, new to the series. He's come over from the oval side there.
That's right, and there's had a few drivers coming over from the oval side, so welcome to them.
Yeah, the more the merrier on the grid. As we look at the team championships, Stupid Aguri extended the lead even further last time out from the Williams team, and Race Ventura in third there. Any thoughts on the championship standings there, Jules? Anyone? I know I mentioned earlier in the season about ETM maybe making a charge, but they've actually dropped further back.
They're all very close. There's so many points available for if a team gets a 1-2 in both races, or even a 1-2 in just one of them. So those gaps aren't as big as they look, really. And I think Stupid Aguri were only a point or two ahead the previous round. Before Hockenheim last time, and then obviously the double win from Kelly just gave them a massive boost and they pulled away again. So yeah, it's all changing. I think any of the top 6 or so there are in with a shot.
Yeah, definitely. I think staying out of trouble is always going to be key as well, picking up the results and staying consistent. So look at the practice results. No surprises to see David Lyon at the top. It's sort of his home up the top of the sheets there. Anyone standing out for you, Jules?
We got Nicola Lay. They've just joined on the evening. Obviously, Manuel Cruz there, getting on the grid. But David Lyon is always followed by his Miller. They're never more than a tenth apart. It's like their cars are connected. Johnson, I believe he was struggling in practice, but he's before the race. But the practice in the official session, he's up there in third, so he's got a good shout there. And good to see Gareth Winslade back here in the ETM. Down there in 18th place. Yeah,
absolutely. He's been missing from a couple of the F3 and the GT3 races recently, but yeah, great to see him back on the grid there.
It looks quite tight there. There's a whole bunch of drivers there, about 2.8 to 3 seconds off the pace. So onto the grid now.
Yeah, you called it with Johnson managing P1 there in quali, even though P3 in practice. David Lyon, Miller, Kelly. Nicola Lay, first race, managed P5, just ahead of Tour Malarin there. Just see this beautiful shot and chasing the grid down to get ready for the lights.
Rainbow cars there, following in the footsteps of our GT3 cars last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Sadly, not quite as many as in the GT3. I wonder if the word didn't get spread around as much. Here we are, waiting for the lights then.
Maybe the artists were all exhausted.
Yeah, maybe. Long hold at the front here. And we are now green. Looks like a fairly even start for everyone. Who is that dropping back? Is that Kelly dropping back down the grid?
Kelly there, yeah.
Following the leading two, Johnson and Lyon here into the first corner. Looks fairly clean at the front of the pack there. Have to see if there's any drama in the mid-pack. Here's still Johnson, P1 from Lyon, Miller, and Kelly's gone all the way back there down the order. It's down to 17th now.
Yeah, it looks like he's just getting jostled back. He's out of position and there's nowhere for him to go.
Someone runs wide there. That's Tour going very wide through turn 3. Follow
towards Kelly in the background there behind Don Parker.
Oh, it's one gone round. Who is that? That's gone round in the Stupid Aguri, was it?
That's Kelly's teammate there, Nathan Parker.
Oh, that's not good for Stupid Aguri.
Into the side of him.
Carnage as usual then at the start of the F3 race. It is a really hard corner to get right, that fast left kink. Looks like it caught Parker out there.
Absolutely, and of course, as you were saying about Stupid Aguri's lead at the championship, Well, at the moment they're scoring no points, so that's
Absolutely.
going to be severely cut.
Just goes to show, we're talking about how quickly it can swing and change in the championship standings. We've seen it there in lap 1.
It's a good fight here between the Chirmalarin and Adam Highfield.
And is that Hoogervin as well caught up in the mix with them?
Yep, yeah, and the other Rumblebees.
Oh, and there's contact.
There's been a contact there.
That's Malarin on Hoogervin by the looks of it. I can still hear some crunching. Looks like Hoogervin's managed to carry on. Oh, and there's even more drama as we get around the second to last in the final corner. That's the other stupid Aguri, that's Kelly. Big crash damage following Hoogervin into the pits. So Hoogervin looked to get away with the initial contact, but then got collected in a secondary incident there. Back towards the front here.
Garlick and Bardsley fighting with Stephen Batty in the privateer car.
Yeah, absolutely. Did Batty have a teammate earlier in the season or last season?
He used to be teamed up with Kelly, but he kept on wandering up mountains, so they split ways. He likes to go for walks on a Sunday up mountains, and then, but come 8 o'clock, he's fast asleep.
Oh, absolutely, it's quite a tiring pastime, definitely. So we watched James Garlick, and was that Malarin 2 positions back?
I think that was Bardsley just going off and
rejoining. It was, yeah, probably got a slow down there when you're out wide, out turn 4 there. There is one of those beautiful rainbow cars that we're talking about. That's Winslade.
Yeah, that's right. It's literally a rainbow car. You can see the rainbow characters on there. You can see a couple of incidents from lap 1 are under investigation.
Yeah, perhaps not surprisingly.
Lauren and Hoogervin and Kelly and Hoogervin.
Hoogervin in the action early on. So see the field just starting to spread out a little bit now as the laps start to unwind. Put my tongue back in.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to follow around here with all the aero.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a bit of a gap between all the cars. But Johnson leading Line and Miller, and fairly close up front.
Yeah, it's generally quite a difficult circuit to overtake as a Hungaroring. So I've got to set a good exit up out of the final corner, and maybe make a dive into turn 1 and maybe hang it out around turn 2 as well.
It's the preferred spot, yes.
Other than that, you can just throw a cheeky dive bomb somewhere and see if you can catch your opponent off guard a little bit.
Yeah, possibly into the chicane.
Yeah, we saw in the GT3 a couple of people trying that, but sadly it didn't work out for them. The bit of door banging with Bardsley and Hoogervin in that one, wasn't there?
That's right, yeah, you need a bit of cooperation.
Beautiful shots as we're following the pack around here. So it looks like this battle in the mid-pack's probably the closest on track right now. Although looking at the track map, Line is still keeping Johnson very honest at the front there, inside a second window.
Yeah, and looking at the tracker, they're catching Parker, so might throw a little something into the mix there.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, a really nice tight field again. Really close lap times.
Hoogervin and Kelly recovering there at the back, miles off the pack.
I think if anyone's got the pace to try and catch them back up, though, it's probably those two.
So the winners and losers, top 3 all remained station. You can see Winslade, Batty, Parker, Costa, Weaver, Erin Jenkins, all big winners there according to the games. And up front, look at that, 37.3, 37.3, 37.2 for the top 3. So they are matching each other to within a tenth.
Absolutely, super quick times at the front there. Starting to...
This looks like an early stop, sorry to interrupt you. An early stop for Nicola Lay here. I wonder if they have damage or whether they're just doing a bit of strategy here and getting out of the pack to run some quick laps in clean air. Yeah,
absolutely. So we can see a penalty for Malarin there, some minus 10 championship points and some penalty points on his licence as well. But last time I saw Nicola is running in 5th position there, so if it's a strategic early stop, then to get out of traffic maybe, then that could be wise, but hopefully there wasn't an accident or something that we didn't see.
No, I guess the other thing was he could have still had his qualifying set up on, which may have given him 4 or 5 laps.
Yes. I've actually got a great big cardboard cutout that I stick next to my monitor that just says fuel in capital letters to try and... you wouldn't believe the amount of times it's not worked though, and I've still managed to grid with qualifying fuel. So see a replay from the start here. And just watch Kelly dropping backwards. Just gets mobbed by the pack. He'll be kicking himself after that one with talking him up at the start of the race for leading both championships. Oh, and there's contact here, Malarin. That was the replay, sorry, still into it from the start.
Yeah, that looks like running into the back of Malarin there. Oh, and here's on board with White.
Oh, just nowhere to go and then lock the fronts. And this was the incident with Kelly. We just saw the aftermath of it. So, goes to dodge the car that was stopped in the middle of the track, and Hugevin was there on the right.
Disaster.
Absolutely. And Winslade got damaged.
Very damaged looking Winslade, yeah.
Crabs in Hungary by the looks of it. Hopefully we'll see a replay of what happened there. But yeah, we're talking Kelly up at the start of the race about his leading both championships, and then sadly Parker, his teammate, out early on, and then Kelly involved in those accidents after the bad start as well. So Chupadaguri, like you say, looking to be scoring no points at the minute.
I think they were due. He was due one, at least Kelly was. Parker hasn't had the best luck, but Kelly had good points, I think, in every round so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
And looks like Line has dropped back a bit from Johnson, and now Miller is right on his gearbox, kicking up the dust there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Miller, of course, was pushing Kelly for the championship last time out at Hockenheim. That was sort of Kelly's biggest rival going into the race there. Miller, of course, had his bit of a shocker last time out, so looking to make amends this time.
Yeah, he's had 3 no scores, and there's 3 drop rounds in the season, so he doesn't have any more left. He needs to score now, big, every race.
Yeah, got to make every single one count.
This looks like a replay of what happened to Winslade.
Oh, yeah. Lost it on the curb and then just got collected. Was that Bardsley just coming past him there?
Look at that rear wing and suspension.
It didn't look like particularly bad damage. It looks like Bardsley got away with it, but just the angle was just enough to break the rear suspension there. So we've got to jump back on board with Miller, chasing Line right in the draft, and looks to the inside. Not quite close enough.
Thinks better of it.
Line does good to still hit his marks and get the apex there. This battle's allowing Johnson to run even further away. Got a 2-second gap now to these two.
That's right. I just saw the times for the 6th through to 10th, and they were all doing 37.7s. It's just nailed together.
Yeah, they reckon that a long, narrow object travels faster, don't they? Like a bullet. So maybe that's the idea. Team up and make a tandem car.
Possibly, yes. Okay, so Leia's now making up positions as other people pit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got a nice fresh air just looking on the track map there, so if the strategy was to pit early and then put some fresh laps in, then it's working well.
Absolutely. We'll see where they come out again after everybody's done their stops, but it's going to be a bit of a wait. People tend to stop in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a couple of the drivers are talking about it. With a bit of heavy fuel saving, you might have actually been able to do this race with no stop at all.
I'd certainly be interested to see someone try it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the pace would be like doing that, but good for a laugh maybe.
Absolutely. So Highfield and Walker are scoring at the moment big. Obviously Walker is Kelly's other main rival at the moment. He's got more consistency, so he's been closer in the point standings to Kelly. Yeah,
he's been mounting a really good late charge as the season starts to draw in the second half now, of course. To see Batty and Garlic.
Garlic and Batty. Exchanging positions down the straight.
Yeah, looks like Batty's got the move done there.
And Garlic's teammate in the background, followed by Don Parker, one of our privateers.
Yeah, so 2 Parkers, 2 Weavers. Fortunately, this time, unlike the GT3 commentary team, deliveries are still somewhat distinguished from each other. So you can see again on the track
Weaver
map.
and Aaron Jenkins, the MMPR team, have both got special liveries for the Hungary.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite a nice kind of powder pink there on... is that Jenkins' car, isn't it?
It's indeed.
But yeah, so it looks like the leading 3 have just caught the first back marker. I think that was Chris White that they've got past, and that's just allowed those 3 at the front an even bigger gap over Who's that in fourth? So Highfield and Walker both a long way from the leading three now.
Yeah, these three are in a class of their own, really, aren't they, in this race at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of feel like we've been robbed a little bit in this one to see the battle with Kelly included as well, because between the four of them, they're always trading best positions and fastest laps, etc.
True, but obviously last round, as we see Miller taking an early stop.
Yeah, perhaps
so
felt like
where he comes out compared to Lay.
Perhaps felt like he was getting held up behind line there, maybe trying an undercut. The tyres do cool down a little bit in the pits there, so although they're not pitting for fresh tyres, the little drop in temperature can sometimes help for a bit of extra grip on your outlap.
Absolutely. Line and Johnson putting in a new purple and past personal best as well. As again, I mean, look at that behind them, 37.6, 7.4, 7.4, 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really close lap times here.
Yeah.
All through the field.
The entire field just trading punches, aren't they? As we see these two angry hornets lapping around together. Or are they more like cute bumblebees? What do you reckon?
I guess it depends on which day it is.
Whether they're driving angry or not.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's see Miller come out of the pits and already fighting through lap traffic, so maybe the strategy hasn't worked out that well for him if he's going to be having to fight his way through.
Yeah, perhaps he didn't quite see the gap he wanted, or maybe, he was going to do it anyway, regardless.
Yeah, maybe it's possible that he never actually fueled to go any further. Sort of a couple of ways you can run the strategy. You can either fill the car as much as you can at the start and then just take your medicine when it runs out, or you can maybe do like a half and half tank.
Yeah, exactly. You can see he is a bit ahead of Lay, so there's a fair gap still there.
Yeah, absolutely. But these are, of course, for position. These are cars that have not yet pitted, so it's not like these are lapped cars that are getting blue flags. Miller is having to actually fight through.
Johnson is pitting now. This is another early stop. Surprise. Maybe he saw Miller going in and he's just covering off in case there is an undercut.
Yeah, it would make sense. We saw Johnson setting a fast lap as Miller pitted, so that releases Line into some fresh air to see if he can now build a gap. But for me, it's going to be Line that's the most under threat from Miller's undercut. And he chose.
Looks like it's sort of a chain reaction as well. You can see Highfield, Walker, Batty, Parker. They're all pitting.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars in the pits. You can see on the map as well. All the greyed out circles there. I'm surprised that Line chose not to pit there, to be honest.
Maybe he's sticking to his plan. He knows what he wants to do and he's going to stick with it, maybe. Yeah,
possibly. Although generally, of course, you can run faster laps when you're in fresh air by yourself, so maybe he's looking to make advantage of that.
Yeah, I see Miller still hasn't got past Weaver yet. He's cleared Aaron Jenkins, he's still got Weaver to get past.
Yeah, he'll definitely be losing time along the way here then. The only thing he can hope for is that the guys that he was battling with get caught in the same position.
Well, that's Johnson, isn't it? Just about 4 seconds up ahead of them, I think.
Yeah, that looks to be correct there. Johnson already in and out of the pits, of course. As Weaver chooses to pull over and let Miller go. Possibly got a slowdown, in fact, on the outside of T4. I didn't quite clock it. But
possibly, yeah.
That looked more like a moving out of the way for a slowdown as opposed to just a yield in position.
Yeah, with people pitting now, they're coming out in front of Hugavin and Kelly, but I would very much doubt if these guys have got enough fuel to get to the end, given that they pitted for repairs on lap 1. Yeah,
we've seen that before, haven't we? Sadly, that cars that are damaged in the lap 1 incidents can't generally make it to the end. Although we did speak about how the fuel was quite tight for a no-stopper on this one, so maybe they'll be able to eke it out.
Yeah, maybe. They do have an extra lap because they would have got fuel at the end of that first lap.
And of course the tow-in, although they were basically at pit-in, weren't they, when they had their incident, so...
Yes.
So at least if they'd crashed on lap 1, they'd have got the tow all the way around, so they'd have lost no fuel in that one. Sadly for them, it was right at the end of the lap.
There's Jordan putting a move on Costa, who hasn't pitted yet.
So seeing on the map, the two Rumblebees are still lapping around together. They're just coming up on...
after their stop.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have to keep an eye on the lap times of all the guys that we know have pitted that were fighting at the front there. You can see Line still out at the front, still not pitted. Or has he just jumped into the pits now, has he? No, I think he's carried on, hasn't he?
He's coming down the,
on the
back
straight,
end of the
isn't he?
there.
Yeah.
And see, the Williams boys have also decided they're going long.
Yeah, so it's almost like the teams are choosing to lap around a little bit there. You can see Garlic and Bards lap around together. The two Rumblebees are lapping around together. Maybe trying to tow each other around for added lap time.
Quite possibly, yeah.
See Miller now getting past Costa as well.
Yep, nice dispatch there. And a new fastest lap of the race for David Line, 36.2.
So he really has made his bed and he's going to sleep in it, running the fuel as long as he can and setting the fastest laps along the way.
Interested to see how he comes out with Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know the pit lane delta off the top of your head?
I don't. Let's look at Bardsley here. He's just pitted and see what it says for his total stop.
Absolutely. See, Line's already got a gap of 17 seconds to P2, which is Garlic. I think Garlic's not stopped yet either.
Yeah, he's about 30 seconds over Johnson at the moment.
Hazard a guess off the top of my head, it'll be around about 40 seconds, so Johnson will probably just get that P1 back again. It might be close.
Bardsley's is moved off of his blocks. He was 4.4 seconds stationary. And yeah, 36.7 in the pits.
It's going to be tight then, definitely going to be tight. Although Johnson is still, looks like he's putting more time into Line now.
Yeah, and he's got space ahead of him. Forrester's the next one in front of him, and he's got a bit of a gap to him.
Yeah, look at Chris Forrester up in third position there.
Yeah, he also is running long there. See, Kelly's just got past Baddy, following Hoogerman.
So Kelly back into the points then, is that? Points down to 15th?
That's right, yep. Got a couple of points there.
So a bit of damage prevention maybe, just trying to get what he can out of this race.
Yeah, and it's always just fun to race, even if you're low down, as long as you're racing somebody.
Well, that'd be fun enough to drive a fast car like this around an empty track, wouldn't it? Never mind if you were actually battling people for position as well.
Absolutely. Okay, Line's into the pits, so let's see where he comes out behind Johnson, if he can stay ahead of Miller.
Yeah, super long into it, this one.
Winslade here on the screen is having a good old battle with Costa.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just done his pot. Stop.
Two rainbow cars together. Winslade tucked right up.
Forrester's taken over the lead, followed by Johnson.
So Johnson has got back past Line then. And Line is now 26 seconds down, it's saying, so has he had a problem in the pits?
I think it's updating still.
Oh yeah, we say you can see him on the map there. Line is right behind Johnson, in fact, on the track map.
There you go.
Yeah,
okay,
perfect.
So yeah, about 4 seconds. And actually Miller has dropped back quite a lot, so I wonder if something's happened to him.
Well, we saw him getting held up in the traffic along the way, struggling with the back markers.
Yeah, but he is 13 seconds down. I don't know where he lost that much time. And the Rumblebees are still inseparable. And that's allowing Nicola Lay to close in on him. I've noticed that was about 4 seconds. That now is a gap of 2 seconds back to Walker.
I wonder if Nicola had to do some fuel save along the way. If we think that it was on quali fuel, maybe still didn't quite have enough after the... You'd have thought he'd have filled the tank up at that point though, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but definitely that was a very early stop.
Yeah.
He's shaken out, coming back up to 8th place, so, and he's looking to attack the next two in 7th and 6th.
Forrester here enjoying some time out the front there, that's great to see.
Yeah, and Weaver, also Jake Weaver in 5th there, also hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah, great showing for Jake, as Forrester does now pit. Relinquishes the lead back to Johnson, so you can see there on screen the gap between Johnson and Line. Has closed down a little bit. I think when Line started dropping back and when he was fighting with Miller, it got to about 2 seconds, and now it's about 1.5. So has closed the gap a little bit through the pit stop cycle, but
that's right,
not enough to jump him in the pits. As we see these inseparable Rumblebees coming around the final corner. This is Miller. This explains the time loss for Miller then, so going a bit too hot into turn 1, losing the back end on the brakes. Also, they just got a little bit unsure with the overtake there, wasn't sure if the door was going to be closed on him or not.
It did look like he was a bit wrong-footed, not sure what the other guy was doing, so he dropped it.
Yeah, absolutely. But as it's worked out, everyone has remained in position at the top 5 there at least, so Johnson still from Line. Miller, despite that spin, has kept his P3, and then Highfield and Walker and Nicola back up to 6th now. So we think he pitted from 5th, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. I've just seen Hungaroring and Kelly have gone in for their second stops, so they couldn't make it work.
It will be disappointing for them if they were making good progress back through the field. We saw Kelly get back into the points. But yeah, sadly, if you've got no go-go juice left, you're not going to go very far.
That's true. Looking at the pit lane time there, Johnson was quite a bit faster than Line in the pit lane. 36 seconds versus 37, so... Had Line had a quick pit stop, the same, then but it could have actually been quite close.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to wonder, because you'd expect they'd only have the same amount of fuel to put in, given how long they all went in the race.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how aggressive you are, isn't it, to the line, and how quickly you manage to pull away. There is time to be gained in perfecting the pit stops.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. See, Winslade still not managed to get back past Costa there.
Still at it.
Yeah.
Still going for it.
Been battling for a good couple of laps now. Costa's holding him at bay. As they get very close around the penultimate corner there. Always seems to be a corner I struggle with that. Never seem to, like, the apex just takes ages before you close in towards it for the run.
Yeah, so that's most of the corners here, isn't it?
Yeah. Circuit of the late apexes.
Yeah, just looking at the times there, so the Line's got the fastest at the moment.
And he's closed that half a second that we're speaking about. It's down to a second gap now, so almost in the DRS zone.
Costa's run wide.
Is this the opportunity now for Winslade to make the move stick?
Oh, side by side. See what happened. Still side by side.
And Winslade gets it done around the outside. Great move. A classic Hungaroring overtake there around the outside of 2.
Will Costa give up though, or does he have the pace to come back at him?
With the added slipstream, you'd expect probably come back down one of the straights maybe. Keep the fight going. So the Rumblebee is holding position, Highfield in front of Walker, and we spoke about Walker being in contention for the championship, so what do you think this point in the season? Some team orders maybe for a wave past?
Well, Adam is completely out of it, so I would have thought, yeah, they would do a swap. Especially, as you can see, Nicola is still nibbling away there. He's now within a second. It was 4 seconds when they came out of the pits.
Yeah, looks to be closing the gap, doesn't he? Speaking of, Line as well, closing
Walker
the gap.
Walker will be onto the radio there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm faster, let me pass.
Yeah, speaking of closing the gap, Line there closing in on Johnson still, so down to 7/10.
It doesn't have long to do it though, as we can see there, we're on the white flag lap.
We've spoken already about the lack of overtaking opportunities around this track as well, so that might be all she wrote coming in through the final lap.
Quite possibly. See Parker's letting him pass there, not interrupting the fight.
It's a really fun section, this sequence of corners.
It's a great track to drive, especially if you've got some downforce. It's just not many opportunities to pass, that's the shame, but I do enjoy driving it.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming towards the third to last corner. It's a good overtaking opportunity, in fact, as well, this third to last, the right-hander there.
It's all closed up here in the battle for 5th and 6th.
Absolutely. Walker will be ruined not being able to get past Highfield here as Nicola is all over the back of him. Goes defensive towards the turn that I was just speaking about.
Oh, he's going around the outside. That'll switch to the inside for the next corner as Johnson is one off screen.
Almost contact there in the penultimate corner as Nicola managed to get it done there.
He's got the outside
side by side around the final corner as well. That's 3 corners now side by side.
Race. Who's going to get it?
Odo finish on the line.
Nose.
Oh, crikey. That was a great finish for those two, but yeah, Walker will really be ruined not being able to get past his teammate for the whole race.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see our winner, Jordan Johnson, then completes his in-lap.
I wonder if he got the fastest lap as well, because he got pole and the win. Just need the fastest lap to complete.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad to get a Grand Slam. So here are the results then on screen, including the points for the winner, Johnson, from Line, then Miller and Highfield. Nicola Lay, new to the championship, pipping Ollie Walker just on the line there. Then Graham Bardsley, Garlick, Don Parker in 9th and Batty in 10th. Last few points positions is Winslade, 11th, and his return to the championship. Costa we saw just losing that position to Winslade in 12th. Forrester, then Weaver, Hoogervin, just out of the points was Jason Weaver. Aaron Jenkins, Cruz new to the championship, and Kelly sadly down there, not scoring any points after that first lap. Malarin, White, Schooling and Parker I think all crashed out of the race through crash damage.
Well, great win for Jordan there, and a good comeback onto the points for Line and Miller, given all three of those crashed out into T1 last race.
Yeah.
Future.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so we can see how that's affected the overall championships there. Not actually.
Well, we can see that if they'd swapped the places, Walker would be leading the championship right now.
Yeah, that's very true. So there weren't actually that many changes up and down sort of towards the top of the championship there, with Line just moving up a position. But yeah, like you say, if Walker had been able to get that P4, we'd be looking at a different championship order there. He'll be ruining the day, I'm sure.
Will there be trouble and strife at Rumblebees?
What was the last good team battle? Was Alonso Hamilton the last one, or like Vettel Webber? I know that got fiery, didn't it? I guess Rosberg and Hamilton as well. They managed to get quite angry with each other.
Yeah, no, we do love a good team battle.
These beautiful slow-mo shots of the closing laps there. So the team championship, Stu Pettigrew got away with the no score and still lead by 30 points from Williams. Race Ventura still in third from the Rumblebees. Otto, ETM, Little and Large. A-Team have moved up a position from CC Racing. They're now defunct CC Racing, is that right?
No, I believe that's still a team. That's the two Chris's.
Ah, absolutely. And then QRS.
They do run a different team name in the GT3s.
That'll be what's tripping me up then. QRS and then Shelf Squirrel towards the lower end of the championship there. Couple of stewards' decisions throughout the race then. So car 41 got an unsafe rejoin with no collision, so a penalty point on their licence. Then car 6 got a championship point and a penalty point to the licence.
Yeah, no, so that was quite a clean race then, given the last couple of races before that were a bit more of a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see cars keeping the wheels on the ground. Yeah, that's going to be everything for this one, so don't forget to check us out on Discord, subscribe to the channel and Facebook and the website there. Thanks very much, Jules. See you in the next one.
Yeah, bye-bye.